Sean Murray says you should stop talking, but only if you're a developer. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome to Games and Groceries, where we talk about topics like this and news stories. That's our dog. You don't see him too often, but that's Floki over there. All right, so this news came out last week, but it brings up a good discussion of whether or not game developers should be talking less and acting more. So we have this article right here, right? Talking about Sean Murray. Now, Liz, you read this article. Opening thoughts first. What do you think about this?
I think the quote itself, people might be taking a little out of context, but he's really it's showing that he's putting his words into action.
Yeah.
And he kind of explains what he means when he says that, you need to focus more on what you're doing and not what you're saying.
Right, yeah. And he goes on I believe the interview was on GamesRadar. Now, he said some interesting things here that brings up a lot of good points. One really good quote here. He talks about, now this is talking about Hello Games. We went about 2 years without talking to the press at all. And we went about 3 months without saying anything to the community either. That was really hard. I sat down so many times and wrote the perfect blog post that was going to explain everything about the game's development and the roadmap going ahead. But I could see that it didn't hold credibility with regards to where we were at. So that's interesting on a couple different levels. Now, I remember when Fallout 76 came, he talks about Fallout 76 too.
Yeah.
And we heard almost a little too much. It was a lot of talking. It was a lot of praising themselves and where the community was. Whereas No Man's Sky, Liz, I don't know if you remember, but when No Man's Sky released, it just kind of disappeared from the face of the earth. Sean Murray just vanished and we didn't really get any information.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what would you rather, when a game drops and it's just hot garbage, would you rather the developers just stop talking for a while or keep talking like Bethesda did?
I feel like we need a common median between the two. Because I feel like the creators of 76 made things worse for themselves by talking. Yeah. Whereas I feel like not talking gives you shame in your product. I feel like what each could have done, like, listen, we're really sorry. We understand that the community is not happy with the game we've produced. We're going to take some time and we're going to do a bunch of fixes to it. We'll check back in with you in a few months. Like, check back every couple months, say, hey, we're working on this. This is what we fixed so far, But I feel like both of them were a little extreme. Bethesda took it way too far and got themselves in so much more trouble. Whereas I feel like the creators of No Man's Sky were a little... They did it too far by not talking to anyone for 2 years.
Yeah, I still remember back in 2016, and he just wasn't on Twitter. He didn't talk to community. Like he said in his quote, like, I didn't talk to community. I didn't talk to press. And it almost just felt like you were hiding something or you just gave up on us. And let me read this quote first before we continue. There have been a number of games that have since come out, had polarizing launches, and that explosive mixes of loads of people playing it, but it also had problems. And I can see EA, Microsoft, or Bethesda try to placate players by just not talking to them, or just talking to them. Now let me pause right there and then come back to it. Yeah, that was it. When Fallout 76 dropped. Now this is coming from me personally.
We all know how you felt about 76.
if you're a long listener to the Games and Groceries podcast, which you should check out up here in the info link. If you know a lot about me, I was really excited about Fallout 76, and then it dropped, and it just wasn't good. Like, period. It just wasn't good. And you just had to think that, is it going to get better anytime soon? And all Bethesda did was just talk and talk and talk about how they're excited and releasing really expensive leather jackets or just these really crummy bags. And they just talked too much.
They tried too hard to fix the game without actually fixing the game.
And they tried to placate players by just talking to them. They were just talking down to them. And coming back to the quote, But for right and wrong, it just doesn't really work. You see this all the time when a big publisher will talk to the community or try to solve the problem, and they just get embroiled, taking up more and more of its headspace.
Yeah, I think that part is definitely true, because so many times, even when they are trying to help and fix the problem that the community's having with something, somehow someone finds something about their comment insulting or stupid, and someone always reams them for whatever they said.
Yeah, I mean, the community, especially for Bethesda, Microsoft,
the big companies.
Yeah, the fans are very much unforgiving. And that's the thing about the gaming community. It's a double-sided sword. With this sort of tension that they have in the community and on Twitter, on Instagram, anywhere, the gaming community can be either super honest with your project and they can tell you exactly what you need to hear to get it solved, or you can get reamed, just like what Liz said. You can just get totally obliterated, like what Sean Murray said, embroiled. And he even just talks about Anthem's community, and he talks about how your actions are so much more important than what you say. Now, talking about Anthem even more, because he brings up Anthem as well. He talks about how Anthem it just, again, tries to placate players, and Anthem just recently just discarded its roadmap and just said that, you know what, this isn't good, I don't think we can do it anymore. EA just came out and said, why are we the bad guys? They're just totally out of touch with their community, and yet they just keep talking and talking, whereas Sean Murray's just advising developers to stop talking. Now, what do you think would have happened with Fallout 76 if Bethesda had just stopped talking?
I feel like they wouldn't have dug themselves in quite a deep of a hole as they did.
Yeah.
Because like I said, they kept talking, they kept trying to fix things, and they really just made things worse. Because they were either lying, or they were just completely ignoring.
Yeah.
They were ignoring everything that was wrong. They're saying, well, we did this, and we did this, and we can do this. It's like, well, stop saying you can or that you should. Just do it. You know, like I said before, I feel like they could have so much easily say, hey, we understand that you're not a fan of what we put out. We're going to take some time. We're going to fix everything that we can. And we're going to check back in with you once we've got everything fixed for you.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's just it. Like, just admit that, you know, that we didn't do what we were supposed to do. We will get back to you. And just say, now, let's talk about the middle ground right now. Let's just talk about that. I think Sean Murray is going on a little bit of an extreme here to just say that you just do not talk to your community, that you just pause from Twitter, that you just pause from all social media, because that doesn't really give any confidence to the community. He almost says like this is the perfect plan for all developers. Just stop talking and everything will be fine. I think that's true to a small sense. I think you should talk less, but not totally stop talking.
I feel like if you stop talking, you almost run the risk of people forgetting about your game.
Yeah, it becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, and then when you come back and be like, hey, we fixed everything, they're like, well, I don't care. Your game was crap when you put it out. Why do I care about it now? So I feel like if you keep up with your community and tell them, hey, we're making fixes, then that's all they need, and they'll keep checking back in. If you say, hey, we're gonna make fixes, we're gonna release a patch, and check in every couple months or even every couple weeks. Like, you don't have to write every day, you don't have to respond to everything. All you have to do is shoot a tweet out once a week, once every couple weeks. Say, hey, we're working on this fix today. Next week we're gonna work on this fix, and we'll have a patch out soon. Just keep them updated. Without like, you don't have to answer every single question, answer every single comment or anything like that.
And that's just it. The way Sean Murray is talking, I almost think about this very YouTube channel where we're still trying to figure out our niche. We're still trying to figure out what we want to do with this channel. And instead of just communicating with Twitter like, hey, we're experimenting with this, tell us what you think, we just upload it and just not talk. We just upload something and just, nope, not talk. But the same route, if we go Fallout 76, our plans are to... Now, we do have plans for the future, but if we were to tell your plans for the future...
And I didn't follow through on them... Then
the community of Games and Groceries would be kind of upset. Like, oh, you promised this, you promised that. I actually responded to a comment on one of our more recent episodes saying that, oh, you should do this. And I just said, listen, I don't want to respond with any promises that I'm not sure if we can keep or not. So I think that's where Sean is trying to get to, where you don't want to overpromise, but also I feel like you need to communicate with your audience so that they can build confidence with your product. So all in all, I think Sean brings up some good points.
Yeah, I think it mostly is getting the community thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about, do we really need all this update, all this information on games, or can we survive on just some updates here and there?
Yeah. I think we can just take a lot from his closing thoughts, which is just, your actions are so much more important than what you say. And I think that that's almost a life lesson to say that your actions will make an impact and your words will give your situation what it is. We even talked to Nick DiPaolo on our podcast about that. And he said, your words can make your situation into a life or death situation.
Definitely.
So choose your actions carefully, choose your words carefully. But to developers, I think that your choices will matter for your audience. And same thing with YouTube. Our choices for this YouTube channel will impact where we go with this YouTube channel. So those are our thoughts about Sean Murray's statements here. Definitely write in the comments below. Comment below about what do you think about Sean Murray's interview. We'll have a link to the article down below if you want to read it yourself. But definitely we want to discuss with you. Should developers stay silent? Should developers talk more? Should there be a middle ground? What do you think the middle ground is? What is your opinion about the middle ground? Definitely comment down below and definitely subscribe to us where you get videos just like this one, where we just sit down and we talk about what we can take from interviews like this. We also have the Games and Groceries podcast that uploads every single Monday. And we do, like we said, we have plans for the future. We don't want to say them just now, just in case we can't follow through, but there are many plans for the future. So if you want to keep updated with our channel, subscribe to us, ring that bell so you don't miss a beat for the show, as well as like and share. Where are some great places you can share this YouTube video?
Where you can share it?
Yeah.
You share it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram?
Sure, you can try.
I wasn't sure if you can do that or not. Try. Let us know if you can share it on Instagram.
Comment down below. Thanks again for watching this video. Again, don't forget to comment down below and subscribe. We hope to see you again for the next video.